E360 TV proudly presents messages of inspirational stories. Live streaming now to millions of devices, including Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, with your host, Donna, producer and host, Jim Grant, producer and host, along with Michaela Vidal, administrator and host, and Gaia Ginwa Balconi Wada, editor-in-chief.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Messages of Inspirational Stories, Day 5, the lost art of communication, verbal, physical communication. We are so excited to talk about this today.
Yes, ma'am, we are. I was waving at Donna, see if she waved back at me. A lot of times, folks, she ignores me because she's looking at the camera to you folks, and she figures, hey, he's still there, you know. We are so honored to be here to share this great information about the lost art of communication. One of the things that Donna and I have learned, you might say, it's been a refresher course for us as far as the importance of why we need to communicate, very effectively.
Right.
And it's so important to let people know that you care, you're there, you're interested in them.
Absolutely.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're also brought to you by a good friend of ours, Mr. Bill Heinrich. We're going to be talking about Mr. Bill, a little bit about his life next week when we're starting the show about living an abundant life, because that's something we're all entitled to. And many times, I know in my life, I haven't known how to do it, to be honest with you. We're going to go over some of those things.
We are, and there's going to be a little bit of a twist and turn in living an abundant life in today's world.
Amen. And like I say, Mr. Bill's book, The 7 Levels of Truth, when you hear his story, we'll share that on Monday.
There's his picture.
Yes, ma'am. He's a personal friend of ours. And that book there, if you're searching for how to, find the inner peace and calm inside, that's a book that we highly recommend. But before we get started today, let's see here. Today, the National Day. Oh, my goodness. What do you want to start with there, Donna?
How about National Hammock Day?
Yeah, but only in the shade now, right?
Oh, my goodness. It's overcast here, and our humidity and dew point is up, and it's miserable.
Yeah. Miserable with a capital M there.
Right.
But National Hammock Day. That sounds like a good thing to do. It's kind of nice to get out there and just relax and just let the world go by, huh?
Yep. Well, since the 13th century, humans have been enjoying napping and resting in hammocks.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes back a bit.
Oh, yeah. You better believe it.
So it also said Columbus first encountered the hammock in the Bahamas. He observed in 1492, that people were sleeping in nets between the trees.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought the hammock back to Europe, where sailors started using it extensively because swinging while suspended in the air led to better sleep than they were previously experienced on the dirty ship floor.
You're making me sleepy talking like that, I'm just visualizing that. It's
right.
But it's a wonderful, I got to be honest, I don't even own a hammock.
I did when in Ohio, and when I moved here, getting rid of about 95% of everything I own, I gave it away.
Yeah.
And you know what? Now I look back and I think, darn it, because it wasn't the hammock that was with just the tied to one end, right? It had two chains on each end. So my clumsiness didn't just get pushed out of it real easy.
There you go. That's amazing. And today, ladies and gentlemen, also on this day, we're going to be talking about, I'm going to take this one here. National Peanut Fudge Day. And the reason I mispronounce that is because I got a mouthful of National Peanut Fudge. I don't even know how you pronounce it, but it's Penuche, fudge. And it goes back. You never wonder what that really means. It's actually a type of fudge made with buttermilk and made with butter, excuse me, milk and brown sugar, and flavored lightly with vanilla. It has a lighter texture than regular fudge. And an easy way to distinguish peanut fudge from the regular fudge is by its color. It is often a tannish type of color due to the caramelization of the brown sugar, and it does not require too many ingredients. It's quite easy to make. And oh my goodness, Donna, they say this stuff is best enjoyed with a steaming hot cup of coffee.
There you go.
Mm.
I'm good with that.
I'm going to start drooling like a hound dog with, at a picnic. And, it's just amazing how all of these things come about. And, I'm going to look up that again. Let me spell that again for you folks. The fudge. It's what's known as the Penuche Fudge Day. Now, I know I'm probably mispronouncing it, but at least I'm spelling it right. So that's the main thing. So check it out. It might be a treat. I've never had it to my knowledge. And I don't recognize it by name. I may have had it because I've, had a zillion desserts during my life, but I think I'm going to check that one out.
There you go.
I'm not going to tell my cardiologist anything. I'm going to sneak it. I'll make it at midnight when he's asleep.
Right.
Oh my goodness. We're having fun today. Go ahead.
Today is also National Mango Day. So, mangoes, it's a yellow fruit, world famous for its sweet and juicy flavors. It's primarily a summer fruit. And mangoes, wow, they can be enjoyed in so many different ways, by themselves, using it in smoothies, however you want to do it. It's super good and super, super good for you. It's a stone fruit, and it grows on a tropical tree. And it can grow, are you ready for this? A mango tree can grow up to 150 feet tall.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
And it can have an extremely long lifespan. So when it's young, it has orange-red leaves that turn dark red to a luscious green over time.
Wow.
And mangroves growing from the tree's flowers take 4 to 5 months to fully ripen. And before this, they're just, green and hard. And there's over 500 varieties of mangoes in the world.
Wow. That's amazing.
It is.
I was reading a side note here back in 1886. If I can add this, Donna, it says the evergreen mango trees emerged. They're really survivors, because I've never heard of this, but it says there was a disastrous freeze in Florida, and that led to many produce trees being destroyed, except for the evergreen mango tree. Wow.
That's something.
Yeah, it really is, because I know in Florida, they're very concerned about their oranges and things, and they get out these big heaters, and they put around the trees during freeze so the fruits the oranges will not be lost.
Right.
But I mean, mangoes, man, I tell you right now, that's and I know people that we've eat them, and I know you have to, but the thing about eating good fruit, especially fresh fruit like that, I'm going to get a mango tree and plant it 150 foot high. That probably prove it. Think I put a little shade around here?
It might. Well, even here in Arizona, we can grow tropical fruit.
Oh, yeah.
And even in the heart of Phoenix, I'm in multiple gardening groups. And it is amazing what people are growing, dragon fruit. They're growing bananas. They're growing mangoes. They're growing, you name it. I mean, it's crazy how much fruit can be grown here. And it's all about taking care of the soil. And of course, there is a little protecting of some things from the sun.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, you're right, because it is just a wonderful place for a large variety of vegetation, trees, fruits, things of that nature to not only survive in Arizona, but also thrive in Arizona. Well, Donna, we've got a lot of ways of communicating, but we don't do it very well, do we?
Well, that's true. Gosh, there it is. I lost my place. The dying art of conversation. Has technology killed our ability to talk face to face? That's the question. Right? So, what is it? We have FaceTime, Skype, WhatsApp, Snapchat. And for many people, face to face conversation is used less and less often. And these apps allow us to converse with each other quickly and easily, over distances, time zones, and countries, which is super awesome. However, often the ways of communicating reduce the need to speak to another human being. And this has led to some of the controversial snippets of our daily lives now taking place mainly via technological devices, so that we no longer need to talk with shop assistants, receptionists, bus drivers, co-workers. We simply engage with a screen to communicate whatever it is we want to say. But Jim, what is it most important that we know is one of the key steps to any communication?
You got to build trust with each other. The people got to know when you say something that they can, count on you. That if you say, I'm not sure about this, or this is what I was told, but I'm not sure, they will respect that. So you're building trust and giving honest communication. That is the foundation of all relationships, regardless of what it is. Because when you're managing any type of a fragile issue, an external threat, or even a full-blown crisis in your life, the most important element in the guiding principle is to maintain trust. Don't lose control. And
absolutely.
Because when it comes to communication, folks, the communications business is about getting people to care. And to get them to care, they must do what? They must hear you.
You've got to listen.
Yeah, they've got to listen.
And I think, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I just want to interject this super quick. It's really important to understand that trust, what that comes down to in so many different ways. But one of the vital things about it, Jim, is when somebody tells us something, we are being vulnerable and we are giving them part of ourselves.
Yes.
Right? And we're opening up to them. So it's important to not only listen, but that's why that trust needs to be there, that we're not going to be, ridiculed or made fun of or just, pushed back. So it's understanding that somebody is truly opening up themselves to you in a conversation.
Absolutely. And let me ask you a question, ladies and gentlemen. How do you want people to think about you? Do you want them to think of you as being an honest and trustful person? Of course you do. Well, that starts with you, because you must demonstrate honesty and truth in everything that you do. It must just be part of you, just like the heartbeat in your veins. It must vibrate from you, because so many times people destroy their own credibility by becoming untrustworthy.
Right.
And that's all self-inflicted. And Donna, that is 100% avoidable, isn't it?
It is. And once that trust has been breached, it is extremely hard to get back.
It really, really is. And, when it comes to being a good leader, whether you're a parent, whether you're a big brother, big sister, whether you're a team leader, it doesn't matter. The principles are the same, because you got to consider that the people who are in your world, they're going to depend upon you for success. This includes customers. It includes, members of your tribe. It includes members of your family. If you're an employee or employer or manager, it includes everybody that's in your world. And A lot of companies and a lot of people are doing a lot of many positive things, which is a good thing, especially in these days of the dark ages, as I'm starting to call it. But, your actions is what's going to make the difference. Are you that go-to person in their time of need? Can they trust you? That is the foundation. That's the cornerstone of communication. Because
Also, are you able to own up to a mistake?
oh yeah, that's the toughie in it, Donna.
Well, it is. But you know what? I mean, it's not like we're infallible. We're all going to
Mm.
make mistakes. So
Oh
it's just
yeah.
so much easier to say, geez, that was a huge mistake. I am so
Mhm.
sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of the gentlemen that work with us, our marketing director and also host, Mr. Emerson Brantley. Emerson says you want to be such a relationship with people that when you do make a mistake, because we all make mistakes, we all goof up, that they know you well enough, trust you well enough, and care for you enough that they're willing to forgive you,
Right.
especially if you're honest and admit it.
Right.
I didn't see this coming, or this is what I was told. This is why I thought this way. It was a mistake on my behalf. I apologize. In other words, whatever the problem is, the shortcoming is on your part, 2 words, own it.
Right.
That's something that's it's so easy said, but it's kind of hard to do in it, Donna.
Mm, I think it depends on how you look at it, Jim.
Hmm.
I think owning it for me, um, is I'm all about the energy.
Oh
And
yeah.
I think owning it balances your energy because I'm that
Hmm.
kind of person. If I don't own it, it gnaws at me.
Hmm. Yeah.
It gnaws at me because I know I didn't do right by the other person.
Hmm.
Right. And it's the same token. If, somebody wants me to apologize for something I didn't do, that won't happen.
Yeah.
I'll
And
stand in my ground.
that's being true to your school, because I can say this about Donna. Donna's the type of person, she's always honest. She will share with you her feelings based on the truth that she knows is true. And if there is something she's been told or misled to believe, or it was not the complete truth, not a lie, but just incomplete information, oh, I made a mistake here and I'm sorry. She owns it. And that you can tell by her, just by seeing her on TV. It just vibrates across the airways, and your body language and the real you is going to vibrate, because everything in this universe is a vibration. The real you is going to vibrate whether you like it or not. You cannot camouflage it by sugarcoating it. Just take a deep breath, relax, and own it. That's
Right.
what we're saying.
Right. And being honest with
Hmm.
yourself, first and foremost, is the beginning of everything energetically working in communication.
Hmm. It sure is. And Donna, I'm looking here at some tips here. And one of the questions it asks is a good question. Is why are we losing the art of meaningful conversation? And the writer here talks about, in their opinion, we're in danger of losing the wonderful, enriching art of communication. And while going through a checklist or through a checkout counter, or interacting with others in public, it's often difficult to make eye contact with another person. And I don't have any problem with that personally, but I know some people, they don't like making eye contact. A lot of it has to do with who you are, where you're from, uh, the society you were raised in. But eye contact is very, very important, because Donna and I are looking at you in the eye through the TV camera, of course. But eye contact, when I'm talking to you, you want me to look at you,
Right.
and that's important, because
Well,
a
go ahead.
dishonest person will kind of like want to avoid your eyes. They'll look
Well,
down, they'll look around.
they will. But eye contact, direct eye contact, means I am secure in what I'm telling you and I'm being
Mhm.
honest. I
Oh
have
yeah.
nothing to hide.
Hmm. That is so true. That is so true. And Donna, when it comes to having an important connection with people, because if you send someone an email, you want them to say, "Hey,
I need to open this, or I need to take a look at this. I may not have time now, but I need to make a mental note up here. I need to take
Right.
a look at that because your credibility, you've earned their credibility to for them to spend time to look at what you've sent. That's what's important. A
Right.
lot of people that are in sales, they try to use the flash and the bang approach. Hey, wow, you know. Does that impress you, Donna?
No, it annoys me.
Yeah. See, that's what I
I
like about Donna. She's very honest. Does that impress you, Donna? No. One word. Not overly complicated. You get it the first time.
I am so straightforward and such a straight shooter. Even my own children. I had a conversation with Gaia a while back, and something about came up about children and talking to them, and she laughed and said, "Yeah, you were never one for coddling us," and not in meaning that I wasn't, there to hug them and love them, and when they had
Hmm.
a owie when they were little, but I
Yeah.
didn't sugarcoat things.
Hmm.
I didn't leave them out of the world because for me, being straight up and honest is the best policy. And
Hmm.
that's how I operate. And
Yeah.
I felt it was always the best way to raise my children to know this is the real world within, of course, what they could handle at their age.
Hmm.
So yeah, things just don't change. And Gaia's pretty frank that way as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's important because it allows them to stand on their own 2 feet and to make the right choices if children have the right information.
Right.
And because I can't say I've known of any parents, but I've seen, shows and stuff where the mom and the dad will try to smooth over the kids' imperfections, the things they do wrong in their life, and pretend that they're not there, and with some type of an abracadabra hope that these things they'll grow out of it. That's a pipe dream. It's not going to happen.
Right.
Kids have to be rooted in truth, in honesty, in integrity. I mean, you can't plant, an orange tree and expect bananas. You
Right.
know, just that
Right.
simple. And Donna, when it comes to these tips here, oh, believe in your message.
That's
This,
huge.
this covers the entire spectrum. If
Hmm.
you're a parent and you're telling your child something, you got to know that you know that you know this is the truth. This is, like Donna said, this is the way the world turns. That
Right.
is so critical, isn't it, Donna?
It is. It is. If you don't believe in your message, I promise you nobody else will.
Amen.
Because your energy will
Hmm.
show up before you open your mouth and say hello.
Hmm.
It literally vibrates from your whole being.
Hmm.
And it's the same way when we're talking to our children or our peers at work, that what you believe in shows. When you get excited about something because it resonates inside you, it
Hmm.
shows. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
feel it. It's even though you can't see it, but
Hmm.
it's tangible. You can feel it. You can
Hmm.
feel that electricity in the air.
Hmm. I remember when I was, and I don't want to go into a big story here or anything like that, but I remember when I was going in to have the stents put in my heart, and they were, had me raise up, put plates under me for the X-rays and all this stuff, and the guy was getting ready to put this big needle right in the base of my wrist right here. And that
Oh,
thing
those
is
hurt.
huge. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
they are.
And I
They hurt.
and I looked at him because he had pulled my arm over there, and I wasn't paying any attention. I didn't feel anything because he had me so preoccupied. My point being in sharing this story, ladies and gentlemen, is that I looked over there and I saw this big, huge white plastic needle. It's about 4 inches long. I'm not making that up. This thing looks about bigger than an ice pick, and I'm thinking,
Right.
oh, that's going to hurt. And what he said was that, no, it's not. I've already deadened it. But it wasn't the words he said, but the way he just smiled and his energy. And I knew instantly he's the kind of person I could have a friend from now on, my buddy,
Right.
because his energy was that positive. That's what Donna's talking about. You see people, we've seen people come in through a doorway and you take one look at them, total stranger, and you can either feel something positive vibrating from them or something negative. It's kind of like my dad used to say, some people bring happiness by coming into a room, and other people bring happiness when they leave the room.
True.
And
True story.
yeah, but that's why, you got to believe,
Right.
and it's got to be an honest belief, not some, I'm going to pretend I'm going to do a sales pitch here belief, because that never works.
Well, and it needs to be factual based,
Yes, ma'am.
not when you're delivering your message to people and you're talking to them, you need to have the facts,
Mhm.
not made up facts, because people can see through that.
Mhm.
And the one thing I know, and I remember telling this to my children when they were growing up, just always know there's always going to be somebody smarter than you and somebody
Mhm.
stronger than you.
Mhm.
Always know that.
Oh, yeah. And social media it is just a huge place where people can exaggerate or pretend or anything like that, because they don't have to face you eyeball to eyeball. That's why I've told the story many times about this guy that came in my business, and there was something, he was wanting us to do his project, and we're going to make $1 zillion. Was it? I think it was $1 zillion. I think he said something like that. But I mean, these astronomical, wow, we're going to be rich. And I'm looking at this guy and I'm thinking, this guy's trying to put me together with cheap glue. And I never will forget, he was all excited, and I put him together with cheap glue. And I says, wow, we are going to make a lot of money. He says, oh, yes, man, we really are, man. And I says, can I ask you a question? Yeah, sure. I looked at him, I says, how do you pay your bills? Well, his body language told me the truth.
Right.
I didn't even want to hear a single word at him. I just wanted to zero in on his body language. That's why social media is just full of exaggerated and untrue comments and stuff, because they can hide behind that curtain, that camouflage.
Well, it's also a place that bullies can hide.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll give you a case in point.
Mhm.
As everyone knows, I'm a big animal lover. And on one of my Facebook pages, somebody had an owl in her backyard.
Mhm.
And she said, where can I go or call to get this owl help? I think there's something wrong with its eye. And it's just sat there for over 20 minutes, which is just obviously owls don't do that, not for that long, and especially during the heat of the day here.
Oh, no.
So lots of people commented, right? Oh my gosh, thank you for, reaching out to help take care of the owl, and on and on and on. And then I'm reading these comments, and then some gentleman got on a high horse and said, isn't it funny how everybody here is all about taking care of animals, but nobody will help take care of people in downtown Phoenix. You all should be ashamed of yourself. And I thought, well, okay, now you're mixing potatoes
Mhm.
and apples. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying that people don't need help, but what this person was saying is, I'm trying to help something that cannot help itself.
Mhm.
And so he
Exactly.
came in as a bully against what this person was trying to do.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people are looking for that opportunity. Let me get on my soapbox and let me tell you what I think.
Right.
And always ask yourself a question on everything that you post, regardless what it is. So what?
Right.
Those two words. So what? So what will that mean to someone? So what value does that deliver? So what? Is it what you want to say, or is it coming from the heart, like this lady here was looking for? What do I do here? I see this creature here, and because we're supposed to help everything,
That
because we're
cannot help itself.
dominion over everything on planet Earth.
Right.
We really are. And if that animal is coming there, that bird is coming there, it may sense that this lady has a caring heart, and she may help me with a physical problem that I cannot help myself. And for this guy, you call him a gentleman, I call him bozos because I
Well,
can
I
get away
was
with
being
it.
polite because we're on TV.
Oh, okay. This
And you
gentleman,
know,
bozo.
you know me well enough to know my true thoughts about somebody who was being so
Mhm.
dadgum mean and just a
Yeah, because
bully.
it's also very rude to go on someone else's post
Right.
and post your soapbox. If you want to do it on your Facebook page, fine and dandy. But don't go to someone else's, blog on their Facebook page or anywhere else and get on your soapbox and tell people the way you think the world should turn.
Right.
Because, I mean, truth be known, people like that, they are a lot weaker, they are a lot cheaper than the other folks on that blog. You can
Well,
take that to the bank.
they're insecure. They don't.
Amen.
They have no self-respect. They
Amen.
lack clarity, and they're. I promise you, their energy is in bad shape.
Yeah, their head's not too good either. But really, I mean, it's just totally disrespectful. When you see, this is one thing about energy too. Donna, I know you're an expert in that, and I'm going to have you share your story in just a few moments. But when it comes to your energy, what a lot of people uh, don't realize, I'm going to put your website up there if I may, Donna. Everything that vibrates from you has long-term effects. If you say something positive, it has positive long-term effects. If you say something negative, it has negative long-term effects. And the energy that you're projecting, if you spew evilness or meanness on someone, it's just going to be passed on down the line. I think we'd all be shocked and surprised on both ends of the spectrum, positive or negative, how much impact that we created by that vibrational wave that we send out. Would you agree with that, Donna?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because whatever we say,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter if we say it to ourselves. First of all, that's the first and most important thing. What
Oh,
we
yeah.
say to ourselves matters the most.
Mhm.
We hear it the loudest, and we hear it internally. That means we take it and absorb it into
Oh,
every cell of our body.
mhm.
So it's
Yes, ma'am.
super important. In fact, I just before the show just got on Jim for calling himself an idiot.
Well, I was sitting here. It's a true story. I was sitting here and I was looking at my list to do, and I thought I had it done. I didn't have it crossed off, but I got some things here on my list, I got to do. And I said, "Oh man, Grant, you idiot." And I didn't know Donna had come into the studio, and she says, "Don't say that, Jim." She corrected me right there. She gave me what's called an on-the-spot correction. And the reason that's important, listen to this. Listen to this. This is very, very critical. Everything that you say or think, you are training your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is your mental GPS, and it will not let you fail. So if I got to clean up that word about idiot, because my subconscious mind said, this guy's an idiot,
Right,
because that's how important this is. Don't take it lightly.
right.
And thank you,
Change
Donna,
the
for,
paradigms.
yeah, change it. Yeah, because it's something that I've got to work on. I continue to work on. And when you're honest like that, and people can out there in TV land can say, hey, Jim, I can relate to that. But let's both work on it together. When I say both, I'm talking about me and you on the TV screen out there, or if you're watching on cell phone, whatever. Be mindful of the fact that what you think and what you say, even to yourself, you're training your brain. Are you training your subconscious mind for positive things or negative things? Because your subconscious mind will not let you fail. Whew, wow. I'm ready for a fudge break now. A cup of coffee.
Well,
No.
also, you can replace the words that you use that are
Mm-hmm.
negative with a
Mm-hmm.
different word. My word is when I do something silly, I'm like, well, you're a dodo bird.
Mm-hmm.
Just that's it, dodo bird.
Now, mhm. And one way you can start training your brain, try this. This is very simple. In the book, It's in Think and Grow Rich. I know it's in the Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude by W. Clement Stone and Napoleon Hill. And that is how the best way to combat procrastination. We all procrastinate, especially when we're going to do something that we don't really enjoy, or we're kind of like, got to do that. Yeah, a chore, or as I call it, a JAWB, a job. You got to get it done. But push that self-starter. This is what they talk about. Just like you're going to start up something, push that self-starter. Do it now. Do it now. And then 3 times repetitively, and each time you raise the vibration of your voice and your energy, I feel healthy. I feel happy. I feel terrific. I feel healthy. I feel happy. I feel terrific. I feel healthy. I feel happy. I feel terrific. And automatically, it just really, it's kind of like giving your energy a shot of energy, really.
A little jump start.
Oh, yeah. And it makes me want to have 2 pieces of that fudge now. That's the back of my mind. I got to try that. So, but that's a good thing, because always learn how to treat yourself in life, because you are worthy. And Donna, I was talking about, the way you talk about energy. You teach people about energy and what blocks their energy. And her email, if you want to get in touch with Donna, is highenergyrightnow@gmail.com. That's highenergyrightnow@gmail.com. Donna will give you a complimentary 30-minute consultation to help you find out what's blocking your energy. And what's blocking their energy, Donna?
Comes down to 3 things: a person, a place, or a thing, or a combination thereof. Because we are human, we have emotions, and that is where we get blocked. But the problem lays that we are so close to the forest in our own struggles, we can't see the trees. We can't see the individual leaves. And that's where we need sometimes a little help or a little guidance to go in and find out what is truly the trigger that is holding you back. See, we all have triggers, person, place, or thing. And so if you don't know where that trigger is coming in to block your energy, this is where you're going to stay. You're going to stay stuck, because we have to get rid of that to move forward. We absolutely have to do that. And it isn't really the leaving it behind is phenomenal. But what's more important is the journey after that.
Because when you leave it behind, Donna, that sets you free. That gives you feel powerful on the inside, don't you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it is like a 2,000-pound weight being lifted off your shoulder. And we don't always realize that it's that one little thing. And it could be from somebody at work, it could be family, it could be something in your environment. I know that, and we've often heard this, sometimes if we have like our office or our bedroom or whatever, maybe it's a little messy, cleaning that opens up that space. Yeah, it's a real pain in the rear end to do it, right? We don't like to do that. But the end result is amazing, and you feel so good and so much freer when you've done it. And that's what understanding where you're stuck. And that is the whole reason behind why I created High Energy Performance Coaching, is to help people who are stuck.
Yeah. And she backed into that because she really created it to help her in her hour of need. And then she realized, this is so powerful, I got to share this with others. And that is the type of person you want to be when it comes to your family, your friends. They want to connect with you and know that you're a go-to person. You're a person they can count on in their hour of need. And that's why Donna says, I got to take this to others, because a lot of people, they may not have had the same type of injury or what do you call that, aneurysm and the surgeries that I had to have, but they do feel like I feel. and I can connect with them and I
Absolutely.
can help them. And it's I know you've shared about being able to communicate the trust and everything that you do there. I love the story about the one lady that had tried others and
For
they come to
13
you
years.
for 13 years. Holy enchiladas. By then, I'd have just give up. I said, hey, let's, this is a lost cause, right?
For,
13 years, but she decided one more time.
right?
There was something about Donna and communicating with her with their energy. And she says, I'm going to give this lady a try. And, you know, just share with us, a little bit about, the end result and all.
Absolutely. So, and obviously I can't go into deep
Right.
detail,
Hmm.
confidentiality, but
Hmm.
she did try different things for over 13 years and had trauma. And the trauma led to that negative vortex that she couldn't get out of. It's
Hmm.
like being on a hamster cage and all you do is go round and round and round.
Yeah.
But she was so tired of feeling that way. And she knew it was affecting her.
Hmm.
And because she knew it was affecting her, she reached out. So we sat down and talked about it. And she went through my entire course. And it's pretty awakening, if you will, because you have to
Hmm.
be honest with yourself. And I have to have that honesty in order to see where that energy is locked. Well,
Yeah.
once we dived into it and did a deep dive, fast forward, the end of her graduation day, if you will, she said, I'm finally free. I get it.
Wow.
And I said, really? She said,
Hmm.
yes. She said, I finally understand what has held me back for so many years. And
Wow.
now I understand that I'm empowered in the energy to
Mm.
live my life going forward.
Mm. Donna, as far as we're on the show here, the topic, the communication and all that. For some reason, I feel like we need to communicate with some folks out there who are stuck, and because there's a lot of people that feel guilty, they feel unworthy, and they're not in any place where they need to be an effective communicator. And it comes down really that you've got to love yourself, you've got to forgive yourself, and a lot of people have trouble latching on to that. They don't think they're worthy to be forgiven, but they are, aren't they?
They are. Everyone is to be forgiven. And
Hmm.
one of the things I found, and I struggled with this for a long time myself, you can give everybody in the world a free pass. You give them grace, right?
Hmm. Oh yeah.
But we don't give ourselves grace.
Hmm.
We are the last person to take care of ourselves.
Hmm.
We
Yeah.
take care of everybody in front of us. We give them grace, but we do not give ourselves grace.
Hmm.
And once you understand that by giving yourself grace and forgiving yourself, you move forward. You free
Yeah.
yourself. You break the chain that is
Hmm.
holding you back, and that
Yeah.
you can step into your power and live authentically in
Hmm.
your high energy.
Yeah, because if you want to have be a good communicator and all that, and you're lugged down with guilt, you're lugged
Ooh,
down with regret, you're lugged down with things, it's not going to happen. I mean, you can say, "Well, I can put this in the back of my mind. I can, but no, you need to deal with that to free yourself up.
well, because if you
Because,
don't, that's the one thing that holds you back from it all. Understand this is fear.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Okay, so we hang on so tightly to what we know
hmm,
and what we've been conditioned and conditioned ourselves to know. So if
uh-huh,
we've been holding on to fear
hmm,
like this forever, that's all we know,
yeah,
right? So when you break that free,
hmm,
you know, that journey forward, you bet it's scary. But
yeah,
we don't grow, folks. We don't grow in any part of our life.
mm-mm,
Communication, ourselves, it doesn't matter. We
hmm,
don't grow in fear. We grow outside of that. We grow in our love
hmm,
because
yes,
fear and love cannot coexist at the same
Not at
time.
all. Not at
Fear
all.
is a form of hate.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've known a few ladies, not, I shouldn't say a few, I've known a couple of ladies in my life that were hitched up with the wrong man in their life.
Mhm.
And the way he controlled them was fear. And with
Right,
that type of environment, there is no love there.
right,
I mean, I'm sorry, but it just doesn't exist because love is always forgiving.
right.
Love is always,
Kind
yes. And if I
and
may,
never
Donna,
boastful.
yes, isn't that the truth? If I may, Donna, I'd like to share this if it's okay. When I found out the stents weren't going to happen in my, from to correct my blockages in my heart, they told me I had to have open heart surgery and I had to have bypasses and all. And when I humbled myself, that was the thing that blocked the energy. And I'll explain that in a moment. I simply said, well, Lord, it's in your hands. If the surgery goes well, I go home. If it doesn't, I still go home. Because I was kind of frustrated after being in the hospital all weekend. I went from being an outpatient because they're going to put the stents in there and send me home. Now I got to have open heart surgery, got to be moved to ICU. So that's, that's a downer. But immediately I was engulfed in love. And the best way I can describe it is two ways. First of all, like going into a dark room, you flip on the light lights up the entire room instantly.
Mhm.
Okay. I knew everything instantly, how everything was going to, surgery go well, recovery go well. I knew everything instantly. And I felt the presence here. And the best way I can describe that presence, I didn't see anything now, but I felt this energy there. And it's the same type of energy that a young mother will have when she gets up early in the morning, walks into her baby's baby room and looks into the baby crib at her newborn baby, the way the mother will lean over and smile and look at it, and the love and the energy that flows from her heart to her baby. That's exactly how it felt. And this is the focal point. This is the thing I want you to understand. When I said earlier, I hadn't let the energy in. I reasoned in my mind that I'm okay. I got people praying for me, and I got faith and all of that. But I didn't realize until that moment when everything was revealed to me that whatever this was it was just so eager to rush to me and say, "Hey, we got you. You're okay. Nothing can touch you." I never felt so much calm, peace, and love in my life. It's a beautiful place, a
Mhm.
beautiful place. But it also let me know because I was okay. I was kind of like saying, I got this. I can do this.
It let you know you weren't in charge.
Yes. And see, this is how smart I am. We look at the Garden of Eden, the story of Adam and Eve. You know how Eve looked at the fruit and she reasoned in her mind, and we know how that went downhill. What does that say to me today? If I want to reason in my mind, I got this. I mean, how dumb can you be, Jim? That's the bottom line. But that was a humbling moment for me, and I share that with you to humble yourself and say, okay, I've made mistakes in my life. I've I've done some things that I would never do again. I live in a world of regret. I'm not happy. I don't feel loved. You need to let that go because you're worthy of being loved. That is a universal love and abundance. And that's what we're going to be talking about next week a lot. But you're entitled to that. I want you to reach out and just grab it and own it. That's
Mhm.
a starting point in it, Donna.
It is. It is. And that's the premise behind this, folks,
Mhm.
is learning to understand yourself,
Mhm.
that you can forgive yourself, creates an opening
Mhm.
for communication
Mhm.
that you are giving and receiving from
Mhm.
people.
Yeah. Just like in Donna's case, there was no way she could be the great mentor and coach and trainer unless she paid the price in her life by going through everything that she was faced. She was diagnosed with MS, and the same day, that afternoon after that, after she got the news from the doctor, she was going over to schedule your first brain surgery, weren't you?
Correct.
That's a pretty low point, isn't it?
it
I
was
mean,
it was a little tough. It was a
yeah,
tough pill to swallow.
yes,
It
yes.
was a tough pill to swallow. Obviously, I got
Hmm.
through it. And I
Hmm.
had 3 brain surgeries in 14 months.
Mm.
And I don't say that to be braggadocious. I
It's just
say
a
it to
fact.
it is a fact. And what happened was afterwards, although I was fine and they fixed the aneurysm, they put in a great slinky in there. Uh, but my brain and body were so tired
Yeah, yeah.
that for almost 2 years, I couldn't speak a full sentence.
Hmm.
I couldn't help my own children. Imagine how that feels sitting at the table
Hmm.
and one of your children comes to you with a problem,
Hmm.
telling everything that's going on, and you are trying to reassure them and guide them, and you can't get words
Can't
from your brain
communicate.
to your mouth.
Hmm.
Imagine how that feels.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I went through.
Mm. Bless your heart. And for you folks out there in TV land, it's not just limited to women; it could be men too. If you're living in a unloved environment and you're being controlled by fear, think about once you let that go, once you blossom,
Right.
kind of like the plant that burst out of the seed and you rise to the top above the dirt. Think about how you could really use that to be an effective communicator to touch a lot of other people. Oh my goodness gracious. That's a huge blessing and that's our calling in life to reach out and bless others.
Right.
It really is. It has nothing to do with money. Money's
Money's a
nice to
by
have.
money's a byproduct.
Yes, yes, it is.
Money
And if,
is a byproduct of it.
and if you bless others and you'll never outgive the senior in the sky that gives all blessings. The more you give, the more you will receive. And
Hmm.
I've seen that in my life. And that's why Donna and I, with our marketing partnerships, our relationships we build marketing relationships where it's got to be a win, win, win for everybody. And we look for ways to bless them because they're going to bless us. And that just happened here recently too, didn't it, Donna?
It did.
Every
It
time
did.
we turn around, it just comes rushing to you.
Right.
It's there waiting. All you got to do is open the door, kind of like when I was in the hospital. I got this, and then I lowered my guard and humbled myself. We've been
And there
wanting
it
to,
was.
yeah, and it made it very clear. Been waiting to rush in and comfort you and let you know nothing can touch you, nothing can hurt you. Here I am. Yeah, I got this piece of cake. You know. I mean, I don't know what I don't, guys. I'm talking to us. I'm talking to us men here. You men, listen to me. Somehow or another, I think we got a patent on being stupid. Because we come up with some of the boneheadedest ideas I've ever heard in my life. I mean, we really do. Let's be honest. Let's own it. I mean, take take for example my wife. My wife came into us. She was going to come over and pick me up as outpatient. So I told her, "Don't come over to about noon. I'll be up there." Da 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 da. You know how the outpatient thing works. And so she comes over to get me. She can't find me. And she said, "Where's Jim? He's not here." We don't have any record of him being here. Well, what do you mean you don't have a record of him being here? So she goes back up to the fourth floor of where I was at. Says, "I'm trying to find Jim. I can't find him. Where the outpatient are?" She says, "Oh, he's not there. He's in ICU. He's got to have open heart surgery
You
and
didn't tell
bypass." I didn't have a chance to. I mean, I was put. I went from the operating room where they're going to do the stent straight to ICU, and they had already taken my phone. I mean, and I'm not real good at phone signals, or smoke signals. And here she comes walking into the room, and I can see the look on her face, and I go like, "What's wrong?" And she looks at me like, "What's wrong?" Imagine how she felt. And of
Right.
course, with my warped sense of humor, Donna, you could just picture me saying this. And, well, let's give thanks. That's what I told her. I said, let's give thanks. They didn't do an IQ test on me. Otherwise, they'd have shipped me out right straight to the psych ward. She didn't
Oh
see
my
any humor in
goodness.
that either. But anyway, I could only say that because I was coming from a place where I was secure,
Right.
I was loved, and I knew that I knew that I knew everything's going to be all right. And that's what Donna and I want for you, communicate to you today.
Right.
to love yourself, forgive yourself. As Donna likes to say, give yourself,
Grace.
amen, and to own it and to know that you know that you know that you know beyond a shadow of a doubt. And it's cat approved what I'm about to say.
Niners
But,
here.
yeah, but to know that you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are entitled to the love and abundance of the universe. That's a promise from the Creator. There's no man, no government, nobody anywhere that can reach in and take that from you, but you can give it away if you choose.
Right.
The choice is which one you're going to be. Are you going to be the victim or are you going to be a victor?
Right. Right.
Our time is gone. My goodness.
It is, Jim. We are out. We have had an amazing week, folks. And
Yes,
Jim
ma'am.
and I want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for tuning in.
Mhm.
We so appreciate you watching us each and every day, wherever you are throughout the
Amen.
world. And
Putting up with the cats.
yeah, putting up with my cats, because it's usually my cats making a ruckus and changing everything in my studio here. But honestly, we thank you for watching us, because this is our calling. Our calling
Amen.
is to be here with you.
And we hope and pray, ladies and gentlemen, that you and your loved ones are blessed in all areas of your life. And let them know, let your family and friends know that you're thinking of them and you love them. They will appreciate that. We'll see you next week. Be sure and tune in. We talk about how to live a life of abundance. We're going to drop that. We're going to get down and do some plowing. And I'm excited about next week.
I am too.
Thank you again. Have a wonderful weekend. Or whenever you see this, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube, the Messages of Inspirational Stories TV show. And most importantly, if you know someone who could benefit from this show or any of our other shows, please share it with them. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.